Hello everyone, I'll be covering Irelia vs Renekton matchup this time. I waited until I lane against somebody that plays a lot of Renekton before I made a guide on this so that it's more, reliable and you can see how it actually plays out. The runes and masters that I'm using are, as you can see on the screen. I take flat armor yellows and 2 armor quints, and the rest is attack speed with scaling MR blues. My mastery page is currently up to date as of patch 5.24, so if you're watching this video about a month later, it might have changed. So if you're looking for an updated mastery page, you probably want to check out my more recent videos. Apart from that, a general rundown of the levels, which will not always play out this way. Level 1, Irelia can actually beat Renekton as long as you get to the lane first and you can start pushing the lane. Level 2 you also win if you can hit level 2 first and just jump on him right away. Obviously the first ability that you want to get in this lane, since Renekton is a melee champion, would be your Equilibrium Strike, followed up by your Blade Surge, and then finally by your W, which you should be maxing W in this matchup. If Renekton is the one to get to the lane first and he starts pushing it, then you have to be a little bit more careful because his Q with Fury will really hurt, and you have to watch out for that and not get clipped by too many of those, as you will not have a fun time. And you will also have to keep in mind that he's going to hit level 2 first, so you're going to have to give him distance and respect his level. At level 3 to level 4, it's really tricky to fight Renekton. At level 3, he absolutely destroys you, so it's a level that you want to try and avoid as much as possible. Level 4 is winnable as long as he has 0 rage when you begin the fight and you can get as much autos as possible off, but I would generally say it's in his favor until level 6. At level 6 it begins evening out and then really has the advantage at level 7. After level 7 the lane goes downhill for Renekton unless he has built a lead over you. As you can see, the first thing I wanted to do when he got here was to just jump on him when his fury got low. My health dipped there, but it didn't matter because I knew that after his abilities were used he didn't really have anything else to do. If he has a lead over you, you have to play safe, and you have to wait for your item spikes such as Ginsu's. And once you get the Ginsu's, you can start fighting him again. But you have to be really careful to remind yourself that Renekton is a lane bully, and he will try and abuse his cooldowns. To beat Renekton, you need to get as much autos in as possible, because he's not a very auto attack oriented champion. So if you let him use abilities and get away with it, you will lose because your power is in your auto attacks, while his power is in his abilities. Once you get a small advantage over Renekton, the lane snowballs backwards really quickly. I already have like a 20 CS lead over him and I just killed him and I can afford a Ginsu's. Once you build a small lead over Renekton, the lane is pretty simple. You just have to jump on him whenever you possibly can, especially if his fury is low, or if you have a major power spec like Ginsu's or Trinity. In this case I have Ginsu's, which is really strong in a 1v1, and saw the result. It's a glass cannon Renekton. I'm level 9 and I have a Ginsu's. There's like no way he can do anything against me after this point, especially if I'm already winning the lane, as you saw from before. This lane only goes down and downhill for him. So as long as you can keep that early game as smart as possible and abuse the fact that he's not very threatening with low rage and give him respect on the early levels and not fall behind, you will have a breeze in this lane. Alright, and you also have to keep in mind that once you get a lead over him, you shouldn't be afraid of fighting him at all. Even if you don't have your ulti, just make sure that whenever you open up first, he has like no fury. And make sure you get your autos in, because that's all that beats Renekton really. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this format a little bit more than the previous ones that I did. I felt like they were too long and maybe not as informative. I might have screwed it up a little bit, but I think I did a good job. I'll keep on trying to make them a little better every time, but you guys need to give me more feedback, and that would be great. And I hope all of you guys found this helpful, and I hope all of you have a great day or great night, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.